Welcome to the Relax and Paint. Today I'm going to teach you some strokes that will be quick and easy and kind of fun. I want you to think about making greeting cards or just a fun little project to give to somebody as a gift. But I'm using multi-surface paint. And the beautiful thing about multi-surface paint is that you can use this on glass, metal, ceramic, on a mirror, doing your greeting cards on many different things. So just like it says, multi-surface, excuse me. So it's folk art multi-surface. It's got a sealer in it. So it's good for indoors or outdoors. And there's lots of things that you'll love about it. And so I'm Donna Dewberry. I am ready to teach you some one-stroke painting. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that we're doing, I'm going to use a black art pad, and this is, I think, let's look real quick. This is 92 pounds, so anywhere from an 80 pound and up is really good. A lot of them are 180 pound. If I really don't want it to wrinkle at all, this will wrinkle slightly, but when it dries, it's good, okay? And so it's perforated, it's kind of nice, but there's all kinds of art pads to buy. We also on our website have gray and black ones if you were interested ever doing that, okay? So onestroke.com for any of the supplies I'm sharing with you. All right, so you can take a 2-lead mechanical pencil and just get the shape of a vase down here. Nothing fancy. And you can kind of pencil in maybe where you want some of this to go or not. All right, so I'm just telling you, I like to just freehand paint and kind of create it as we go. So I'm going to take my 16 flat one-stroke brush. I'm going to grab a little bit of medium and then grab the wicker white. All right, so this is going to be the pot. Okay, so now what I'm showing you is it kind of shadows a little bit because of the black underneath, and I kind of like that. So I don't worry about going over it 2 or 3 times till it's perfect. I just come in here and now just make back and forth and fill it in. The floating medium helps you to be able to get this in here. This is kind of how we do a pumpkin. We're doing the strokes of a pumpkin here. Okay, so I'm going to come across the bottom because the bottom here will show. Okay, see, I'm not worrying about it being perfect. All right, now I'm going to come over here, and this is Thicket and Citrus. I'm not going to wash this brush. I'm just going to come right in here and double load in between those 2 colors. If you use your double loader, it helps you a lot too, because if you're having problems double loading, that's usually the first. If you're a newbie, most people have a little bit of problem with double loading. So having the double loader is going to help you. And if you go to practice strokes and look up double loader, it shows you all the magic of a double loader, guys. Usually I use a double loader when I'm painting on practice strokes. Okay. And it keeps your paint from drying out so you can use the paint that you squoze out over and over. Okay. Now I really want this to be dark. So let's come in here and make it a little bit darker. All right, coming underneath these flowers. And some of it I like you to see. Usually I want dark in the background, but we're black in the background, so we're fine, right? But you can put a few little strokes back here. We're going to put a stem here, a stem there. You can do the stems after you do the flowers even. All right, and I'll know where I need these little leaves after I paint the flowers. So how's that sound? Okay, and I'm going to take some flowers down over this a little bit. And hang a little bit more over this way. Now I'm going to get my heat pen out, and it's not a heat gun, it's a heat pen. And just like, especially if I'm working with glass, but this is where I want this area to dry more before I put my white blossoms and some of that pretty color I want on here. So if I stay still, I want you to see it'll start bubbling the paint. So if I move it, it doesn't do that. I can be at the same spot and moving it, and it still won't bubble up because I'm moving it. I'm going to do my top flowers first, and this will be dry enough by then. I just hit this with the pen. Okay. All right. So there we go. Now we're going to go down. That was a 16 we did that with. Now we're going to go to a 12 flat, and you might even go smaller, but we'll see. All right, so one of the first thing I want to do is put a couple of these yellow ones in here. And so this one up here, I'm going to do the back of it. So this is moon yellow and yellow ochre. So you're looking for multi-surface, folk art multi-surface paint, and this is yellow ochre there. So I'm going to go between the two. Now yellows are transparent colors. Yellow, moon yellow is a little stronger, not as transparent, and so sometimes I use white with it. Yellow ochre is a dull yellow, so I add a brighter yellow with it, or even a daffodil yellow. But then I can pick up a little bit of white and work it in if I think it's transparent or going to be too light, especially on black. You can do that. All right, so right in here, I'm going to show you that that's the area I want this flower to be. All right, so I can just base in by chisel push. This is a chisel. Chisel push. There we go. All right, to fill in just kind of the area I want to be. So now I don't have to think about it. Now I'm just going to pick up paint, a little bit of white, and I'm going to be pulling inward. Right up on the chisel. Now, before I was pushing hard. Now I'm just touching. All right. These are chrysanthemums, but these are a different type than I usually do comma stroke ones. These are like little daisy strokes, kind of. All right. So, every once in a while, I'm pushing a little bit harder and adding some brighter on the front. Or closest to me. Do you know what I mean? Right there. Okay. And I could even put a few in here because I'll put a little bit of green calyx up underneath. Okay, so that's the yellow. And then right in here, this is going to be a little, that's not too bad. Right in here is going to be yellow and white mostly. So I've got enough yellow in there. So now we're just going to do white. Okay, so right in here, let's see, I want it to be all in here. See how I kind of gauge it? And then right in here, I'm going to come right down there. All right, so I can work this in. So it's really pastel. See, I'm putting more pressure. Can you see? Then that was just up on the chisel. I'm putting a little bit more pressure. And to end this, I'm going to pick up more straight white. And look, now you can see, I know there's a pretty bad glare, but look. There we go. And then we'll put some leaves out there. And I can even have a few like this, just kind of a little bit of that up here too. All right. Okay, so we're getting a little bit more yellow on this one. Bringing it back up here just like we did before, remember? There we go. So stronger yellow than I did there. So I've got both yellows here, yellow ochre and moon yellow. All right. Now, all I'm going to do again is come over here and pick up the whites, and we're going to put strong white up here and pull it down into the yellow. All right. I can come here and just do some more straight yellow there. They're kind of fun. This one, I want to add just a little bit of yellow ochre down in here. All right, there's going to be a really big yellow one here. I think I can go ahead and do that. I'll wipe off everything on my brush. And while that's wet, I'm going to put a touch of pink in here. I don't know if this will show when I start stroking. All right, so let's get the two yellows again and a little bit of white. Is this kind of fun? I think you'll like that this can be any colors. All right, so we're going to come around the outside. So you're looking straight down into the flowers to the side views. All those others have been side views. All right, so we used to, way back in the day, and my mom's era too, they had mums for homecoming. And they were like this, these really thin little petals to make mums corsages. And this would come all the way around, and they wouldn't be this loose, they would be really exact coming in to a curve. Okay, so let's have some pretty yellow out there. Moon yellow. See a little bit stronger. A little bit more. Put a little bit of yellow here and there. It's just like, not like petals are falling, but maybe it's just like a little bud starting. Okay. All right, so I'm going to keep coming in here and getting a little bit of white because I want to get depth. Okay, let's get a little bit more white. And I'm going to turn it. Can you see how I turn those petals? And a little bit more. Okay. All right, so that one's kind of like a front view, but I'm going to add just a little bit of pink. Just a little bit. I make it kind of pretty, a little bit wild. And I can add just in here a little bit of magenta in here. There's a little bit of magenta out from here too. We do some of this later too. We don't have to do this right now. I just kind of, I'm in the moment here. All right. So let's do some pink flowers now. Can you see the whole thing? There we go. We're going to do a big, pretty white flower here, and so we'll have a triangle, all right? Oh, I forgot right in here. I do need to put some green calyx up against this before I put the pink flowers because the pink flowers go right against it. Okay, I'm just getting two colors on here, so it's double loading. And I'm gonna put some, not just that pink I put there, but I need some other shades. Okay, and then the pink flower is gonna go there. Right under here is gonna be some too. All right, I do want some real height in here, so it's gonna happen. Just not right now. Now, there again, I want my white to be pure white. I want my pink to not have a lot of green in it. Okay. I just took the little bit of the super wet off of it. All right, so right in here, this is going to be the center and it's hanging down kind of. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to start picking up white. So that's why I have you pound the plate a little bit like this to flatten it out, because I want to have a nice place to come get clean white. So on this side, I won't get yellow, I'll just get white. All right. So I'm going to come in here. Same flower, different colors. Okay. Pouncing a little bit in there for that center. All right. Now I'm going to pick up very magenta again. This is magenta and white. All right. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to come in here a little bit, here and there. All right. Now, okay, I need, before I go any further, guys, that needed to be darker in there. So one thing you can do, you can mix a little bit of that thicket with magenta. Thicket and magenta to get a little bit of dark center. Just a little bit of dark. All right. I have to berry wine or something in there too. Get that pretty color. Let's see. I may just get a little bit of berry wine. All just because this one you can kind of see inside. All right. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to go back to these first ones and pull that into that dark a little bit. I like to show you how to fix something if you're not happy, which I wasn't. All right. Then I can come in here and do layers right back over that. All right. So this is coming in here, curving. This is curving this way, right? Then I'm dipping the berry wine and then side stroking the white because they're not next to each other, which is fine. Sometimes that happens. All right, so now these are coming up from below. All right, these little guys. All right, so they're hanging down, and the others were coming from up. Okay, to see how that depth really helped us there. There, so it makes the center. All right, so now I want one right here. So we're just going to have pink, but you see how I put the pink in here a little bit. This could be a little bud starting maybe. So you have a triangle of color. And when I say triangle of design, sometimes it's colors, sometimes it's flowers, like boom, boom, boom. But then we'll do white, white, white. All right. Okay, so now what we're going to do down here, we're going to have some dark in here again. And I'm going to open up this berry wine a little bit again. And let's put some dark in here. No, a little bit of dark. Okay, so let's go back to the white and magenta. And right up here, I am, see, that's just dry enough, wet on wet. You're okay if it just starts drying because you're adding so much paint here. You're not making it pick up the green. You're just adding paint. Okay. Now you want to see the inside. So I'm going to come here. Oops. You want to see the middle. Okay. So now watch this. I'm going to come right here and you make a scoop, kind of a U kind of down, kind of like we do rosebuds if you've ever done rosebuds with me before. All right, so that's inside the flower. And we can make another little layer all up on the chisel. I'm not putting a lot of pressure right there. But then what happens is we're going to come here and we're bringing those little petals up. Right? You see what happened there? All right, so we see the inside, we see the depth underneath, and then we have these falling down. Like, see how those fell down? All right, and that kind of fun. Look how those petals rolled and came at me. So I can do the same thing in here a little bit. I'm still not happy with what that ended up with right there. There we go. But so I saw how I like that, which made me go back to that, okay? All right, so there we go. Now we want a big, fluffy, pretty white one. So what I'm going to do on this one up here is I'm going to use more citrus. You know, I can, like, well, I've got this citrus before I put the white. I'm going to put a couple of little citrus and white little marks in here. A little bit here and there. So you just want the illusion that you put some of this pretty leafy stuff in here, but we don't have to make an exact leaf. We can just dab it in here. Okay. And add some in here, just the citrus. A few pieces of citrus here with maybe some white. Sometimes I can't be too loose. Sometimes I've seen you guys be really rigid. So if it even is hard for me sometimes, I get it. But try to be loosey-goosey. Look back and say, was that loose or was that super rigid? All right. So see your pink, pink, pink. So I want to come right in there and add some green. So it looks like it's a little bud. And then yellow, yellow, yellow. And then let's get the citrus and let's pick up white. Now, white's okay on this because we have a big, bold black. All right, so right in here, I'm going to get the shape of the flower I want. That's that part in here, okay? And you're really not going to see the middle, this and here, because we're going to do more of a back edge of it. But we will come down into this bottom with white petals going down. Okay, so now no more green in here. I'm just going to pick up white each time. Pick up white and flatten it on both sides of the brush. And then what's going to happen is we can brush up a little bit to get that fuzziness. It looks like it's out of focus a little bit. And then I'm going to come in here and pull strokes. So little tricks like the fuzziness really helps, guys. I can put just a teeny bit of green in here and just have some of them in there, here and there. A little bit more white and have some more layers. Now look how, see, no, I'm afraid you can't see those layers. Let's bring it up a little bit. You see that? Let's get some citrus. And those are the young ones that haven't turned white yet. Isn't that kind of fun? So I wipe that on the paper towel and then go back and just get more white. So people, some of you will make a mistake and come out. Don't come out. Go in and in. Okay, so push and lift. I could have gone to a 10 on some of these. This is a 12 on all of it. All right, so I'm going to, oops, do a couple of little strong white strokes here. Okay. Now I'm going to flatten this a little bit and bring a little bit of that citrus in there. Look, just kind of bring a few of those strokes out. What do y'all think? Just a relaxing, it should be kind of relaxing. Nothing's got to be perfect. Trying to get a little bit of that green in here. Well, I hope you enjoyed that a little bit. Even if you paint this over and over till it feels relaxing, that's going to be how you grow. Think about two or three people that you want to give this to as a little card, or get those little baby canvases, make it small. And think about joining me in our membership, because I go step by step and teach you all kinds of little projects, complete paintings. And the One Stroke Advantage benefit is, and it starts at $10 a month. The One Stroke Advantage is that you get 20% off my website at all times that you were a member. You just get the code that we put up monthly and you're ready to go. So sign it and share it. All right. If you get a chance, go join my Facebook group. It's Donna Dewberry's with an S official one stroke group. And we are nice and kind and we're monitored. So you have to answer 2 questions. Some of you don't answer questions, we can't add you. We got to make sure that you're real and that you are want to learn or be involved with one stroke painting, because that's all we have on there is one stroke painting. We're a friendly site. We uplift and build. So Donna Dewberry's official one stroke group. We have sales and fun things that you can only get on our site. So that was an Inky 2 script liner. And I want you to see that you made this brush inky with water, and that's how I sign my pieces. Okay. And I also want you to know, my husband and I binge a lot on Netflix and some of these other shows, and I got so excited, people saying, I binge on your shows all weekend. And so that's kind of a fun thing. All right. Hope you like that, and I'll see you next time.